Howdy, everyone. I hope you're having a great day. It's Saturday, the 8th of June. We've started the summer, and we're going to have a lot of different things going on. Let me take a moment to do some technical stuff. Is it not showing? I think I need to refresh over here. So, um, okay. I had to go in my subscriptions. Okay. Now I seem to be on, and I hope that you are going to enjoy my program today. And it will be a lot of fun. I will answer any questions that you'd like to put forth to me. And I hope that today's live stream is really neat. I recently put out a review of my terrain trip last summer, and it was a lot of fun to put together. I'd had some people that had said, hey, you really need to do that. So it's about 8 minutes long. I really enjoyed being able to read the script and then plug in the pictures that I had taken. Really a lot of fun. I had gone north from Los Angeles to Seattle, spent some time in Seattle overnight at a old hotel, the Panama Hotel, which was built in 1911, and it was really warm that day, and that evening it was warm too. And being in SoDo, South downtown Seattle, it was there was a lot of police activity, sirens and things like that. Had the window open just to get some moderately cool air, since the humidity at Seattle is really warm. Nice old place. Really enjoyed the time that I had there. Good food nearby. That they have right next in the same building, a place that you can get coffee and things. And I had a great breakfast before I did my 1.5 mile walk down to where I was going to get my rental car. And so I walked all the way down there past the two domes in Seattle, and got the car, a nice 2023 Chevy Malibu. It was neat to drive. I went up along the coast past the docks, to get to the piers that I wanted to see, the ones that most of the cruise lines come out of north of the downtown area. At a certain point, I just decided I was going to turn around and spend my time in the quays, the dock area. And I had Ivar's acres of clams, and I had a big clam bowl with literally clams in it. I unshelled all the clams and ate it. It was really good. Had a couple of really nice beers from the Seattle area. Went over to get in line and get on the Bainbridge Island ferry. Been on ferries for most of my life, either walking or driving on. The driving on ones are really fun because it's just a unique form of transportation. The Olympics were so beautiful across the Puget Sound from Seattle, and as we were traveling over, got another picture of the Seattle downtown. And even looked back at where the King Street station was for the train that I had taken all the way up and gotten off there, right next to the docks. Didn't need to actually rent a car if I was just going to do passenger work. Went across and had dinner with my great Holland America Line cruise consultant, and it was a really neat experience. I'd talked with him since 2016, putting together an Alaska land and sea journey in 2017. It was good to see Mitch. Hi, Mitch. Hope you're having a great day. And I'd like to make another trip with him in the next year or two. And I'd really like to do the Great Bear Spirit or Great Spirit Bear trip from Seattle to Seattle. That's in 2026. I've got so many different things that I'd like to do between now and 2028 or 2029. I'd like to go to Scotland and ride the essentially the Harry Potter steam train from Fort Williams to up north, where it ends up at a port town. Can't say the name, starts with an M. Anyway, but Glasgow, do that train down to Fort Williams, and then up, and then maybe another one in Western Scotland, or head over to Northern Ireland and go into the Mourne Mountains, where J.R.R. Tolkien and his friend Jack Lewis would walk through the mounds that were there that inspired Narnia and inspired the mounds of the Burrow-Wrights and the hills of the Shire, and even some of the rolling grasslands of Rohan. If you haven't figured that out, I'm a big fan of Lord of the Rings. Lots of different forms, even Lord of the Rings Online. I like that. Landroval server is where I spend most of my time. And a lot of other great names in the Tolkien world as well. So, got over to, after having dinner with Mitch, drove out to Western Washington between Port Angeles and Port Townsend, and spent many days alone. Did a lot of self-reflection. It's really good for me. Gave me a bit of a new lease on life. When you're vacationing by yourself, you really don't need to drink because there's no issues that you have to wrestle with if you just are content and let it be. And so I was able to break a bit of a cycle, and now it's only events that I really feel like I need to maybe have one or two. And I had gone twice that vacation over to Port Townsend to the Bishop Hotel with my cousin Don, and listened to some bossa nova music outside in the open air. And it was really great. Got to tour a little bit of Port Townsend, see why my oldest cousin loves the area there. It had been a way station for him when he was traveling back and forth from college, and I could see why he really loves the place. It's really neat. But at the place I was staying, there was a 4th of July parade that came up, and I did a video on that. Not sure if I have that on private right now or public, but get enough people asking me in the comments, and I'll at least send you the link so you can watch it. It's the whole parade, and then me walking back up the street. 4th of July, picked up my daughter from SeaTac Airport the next day, and we went back and we did Pike's Place. She had already been there, and I had already been there a while ago, but I was glad to go back, and had some other time. Then we got on the Bainbridge Island Ferry again to go across to Western Washington. Really enjoyed that trip. And then we stayed about a week, did some sit on the top sea kayaking. I did it once. My core is not very strong, and I was kind of leaning back because I just couldn't keep myself crunched. And I have to work on that before I go back. 275 pounds was the limit on those sea kayaks. And I had, during this week of my watching what I ate and eating thoughtfully and drinking water and not drinking, I had lost quite a bit of weight. So I was under the 275, and it was hard to paddle. I'm used to rowboats and things like that, but this was a different experience. Truly enjoyed it. Let's see, what else did we do? Mostly just sat around looking at the views, Strait of Juan de Fuca, the Admiralty Inlet, Whidbey Island, Lopez Island, Orcas Island. Even when we'd go over to a certain beach nearby, we could see the Victoria, Canada, in the evenings. Then we went back. I dropped her off at the airport really early in the morning. She had decided she wanted to make sure she was back for appointments that she had on that day. And then I drove up, turned in the car, and then walked the mile and a half. Somewhere along the way, my old suitcase had been tossed, and the brittle plastic wheel had broken. So it was not doing too well. And it got worse as I was walking the mile and a half. Got back, checked in my suitcase, hoping the other wheel wouldn't get broken. And then finally made it through check-in. I had bought a what is that? Starts with the C. Coach class ticket on the Amtrak Coast Starlight 14, and I had upgraded it to a roomette. Roomettes are really great, and so I finally was the last one to get on the car with the roomette. It was the last one in the train. And strangest thing about that, we had to stop a couple of times in order to take care of something underneath the train. And I thought it odd. And finally, I asked our cabin, our actual whole unit train car attendant what had happened. And she said, well, this particular train car was in the 2023 June 28th derailment in it just north of Los Angeles, just north of the Simi Valley. It starts with an L. And there were still problems with it holding fluid pressures from the derailment. And that was a sobering thought. I had talked with people up in Washington about how great train travel was and how excited I was. And it was just the neatest thing. And the person really sardonically said, well, what about derailments? And I was like, derailments? I hadn't watched the news, so I didn't even know. Some friends of mine down here had let me know that they were worried for a little bit, but I was on the 26th and 27th train north on the Coast Starlight 11. And so those that were on it, the professor and Micah and his new wife and Christy, want to say hi. There was another couple of people on that trip on June 26th, northbound, that were across the way from me and down a little bit. Hi to them too. I hope you're all doing well. This is your acknowledgement so that you can know that I remember you. And if you're watching the channel and subscribe, thank you. We're up to 241 now. 241. Coming back down. We went from Seattle. We did the Tacoma Dome, saw that, went across the Columbia River, went into Portland. Didn't stay really long this time. Needed to catch up on some time. Either that or we did that. I got off neither north nor south at Portland. North, we had about a half an hour stay. I think I might have taken some pictures. Also got some really neat pictures of us taking the trestles across the Willamette River coming north and into Portland and then going out of Portland. I may just do a short that's just fast and put it up 200, 400 speed and see if I can get it within the short duration. So headed down from Portland in through the Willamette Valley. Willamette Valley is really neat. Saw the uh, combines working the fields, clearing it out, getting ready for the later summer harvests. And then we went, the interesting thing about the trip is the Willamette Valley is here. You go off, you don't go through the Siskiyous, the coastal range, up at the end of the Willamette Valley. You go all the way over into the Cascades and then come back in to get to Chehalis and then Klamath Falls and then go past Mount Shasta. By the time you're getting to Klamath Falls, that was about the time it was getting towards night. I had had dinner and I went to sleep, didn't wake up again until Central California. I forget where exactly we were. I think we were just east of San Francisco, Emeryville, perhaps. Then the day broke and we continued south. We went down through the Salinas Valley. Then one of the really neat places that I liked was as we were in the Tidewater area of, I think it was near Monterey Bay, there were some seals, small seals, but in the waterways there, and they were just right there on the side. I tried desperately to get a video of them or even pictures, and I failed. This was actually my first real trip working with a GoPro and my camera and trying to put it all together. And so it was a neat experience. So I then continued going forward, and we went through the Santa Cruz Mountains. Then we came down Santa Cruz Mountains. Then we were coming down through Santa Maria Valley, then Paso Robles. Then we went through San Luis Obispo, Arroyo Grande. Then after Arroyo Grande is the Santa Maria Valley with Los Alamos. And then we went up and over the hill again, down into the coastal range, past the Ronald Reagan space, for lack of a better term, laser research area, past the SpaceX launching pad, past Vandenberg Air Force Base. And then we started down into the coastal valley right by Santa Barbara, just north of it. And I got to watch all of the neat coastline there. If you haven't been, that's the best area. You need to be on the west side of the train, which means on the northbound, you'd be on the port side. For you, that would be left. And then if you're coming south, you want to be on the starboard side. And then you get great views, and it's just wonderful. It was getting later after we had passed Santa Barbara. I was getting itchy to have the 36-hour trip finished, and we went ahead and had dinner. And then I pretty much, as we were finishing our trek through eastern San Fernando Valley, I had gotten my my bag, and I was standing by the door. I was ready to be done. It was about 9 o'clock at night, 9:40. Got off the train, got on the A line to get back to my house, and finally got home about 10:30. And that's the synopsis of that video that I did for 10 minutes, which I've now done for about 18 minutes here. So I thank you for listening to me. I have some compliments in the comments here. One of them is my lighting looks good. This one is nope, this one's doing fine. This one over here is a little less, but it's a bigger unit. Maybe I'll have to move it in the future. If you have any comments about what I was just talking about, please leave them in the comments below. Love to hear from you. And let's see, how about that new algorithm? I've been watching a lot of different things about the new algorithm, and My video that I just talked about for 18 minutes, one of the suggestions that I finally took that belonged to the old algorithm was click off of subscribers first for when you publish. And I was sad that I did that because my subscribers, all 141 of them, love them. And my Patreons, all 3 of them, really love them. Hi, Doug. Hi, Sensei. Hi, the Josh Bolton Show. They would have, they being my Patreons, they would have gotten to see it first. And so I'm not going to do that again. When I go through the things, I'm going to make sure it goes to my subscribers first, because it seems that the new algorithm is a bit funky, and you really have to tailor it to the people that you're thinking are your audience. You really have to grind your homework. Not, yes, you want to produce what you like to produce, but you need to produce what people want to watch you do. So it's gotten tougher, and but it's still worth doing because it's just fun to get in front of a camera and talk to people, even if you can't see them and you're just staring into a lens. I'm going to continue pushing forward. I have several years before I actually retire, so I'm really in no hurry. I'm making money as it is right now. This is my hobby that I'm vigorously getting back into, and I truly appreciate your attention to this matter, and really glad that you stayed and watched and will watch others of mine. I have over 250 videos that I have logged right now, so truly appreciate it. On a side note, my father, since I was a young boy, used 35 millimeter camera, and he had a lot of different types of photography equipment, and I was used to being photographed from a very young age. So staring at a lens and making sure my focus is on the lens, other than when I get all ADD and look everywhere else but the lens, is just one of the things that I do. So I appreciate everything that you can contribute by way of comments or likes or subscriptions. If you have suggestions for topics, please let me know. I'm trying to find what's best for you to see, and look forward to whenever I can interact. We'll be going on, my whole family got a cruise with a group cruise with friends of Cruise Tips TV, and it's on the Wonder of the Seas in early November. Uh, I believe there's probably still cabins available, not in the group that I know of, though if you contact me, I can find out from Haley if there are. But you could still be on the cruise and be able to interact with some really great named people that really like Cruise Tips TV. It'll be my first cruise, and I hope to learn from it. I'll actually be making the video on that about the group cruise, and not as a Bruce cruise, to produce for the people who are putting on the group cruise. I'll do separate little shorts as Bruce Cruise, but look forward to it. It's out of Port Canaveral. We're going to stay at the Lakeside Orlando and take the GoPort into the cruise, and then away from the cruise after we're done on the Sunday after. And we're going to go to St. Martin. We're going to go to the U.S. Virgin Islands, and then we're going to go to Perfect Day at Coco Cay. So looking forward to that, looking forward to making a video about that. And what are some of the things that I'd like to do? Let's do a little promo here. Doug Parker at Cruise News Radio would like you, if you have interest in being able to find out what the local news is or international news about cruising. He's got a great one-take show about cruise news, 3 minutes long. You get a lot of information. He gives you the yesterday's stock market closings on where the stocks are for Carnival, Royal Caribbean, and one other. I forget. Oh, and no, Norwegian. And so it's worth checking out. Cruise Radio News, at Cruise Radio News. Also, if you're in Southern California, in the Inland Empire, please go to the the unique Z Ultimate Self-Defense Studio on Monte Vista, just south of Foothill Boulevard. A great place to learn self-respect, self-discipline, and to overcome anxiety. Years ago, I used to get worried that if someone attacked me, I'd just freeze and wake up from my bad dream. Well, now, if I'm dreaming, things happen to them if I feel that I need to do something. And I don't worry much anymore. I have to keep practicing to be toned, but it is a great discipline, the martial arts and the things that you learn. Just one, the greatest lesson that I learned from martial arts was when you make a fist, make sure that your wrist is locked and hit with the 1 inch of power. There, you've got one of the best martial arts lessons that you could ever have. One last thing is, if you're interested in interviews, if you're interested in learning about C-suite ways of life or information from lawyers or artists or other things, the Josh Bolton Show, either on YouTube or as a podcast, is a great place to put your attention, because Josh Bolton really puts in a lot of effort to helping things out with you understanding a lot of complicated things about those incredibly different areas of expertise. So be willing to go ahead and watch the Josh Bolton Show. So to finish up, we're going to have another live stream. It will be the second weekend of, that's going to be a very busy day. I'd like to say it's going to be the second weekend. I will have to announce when it will be done, because I think it may be the third weekend. I've got a friend who's getting married, and I'm best man on the 14th of July. So look for the 21st of July as our day for getting together again. I hope you've really enjoyed this particular program. And and yes, I am a busy man, it says in the comments. I hope you've enjoyed this program, and I hope that you will come back in the future and watch it live and put in your 2 cents. Well, okay, not monetized yet. Put in your 10-cent thoughts. That would be a good idea. Anyway, I hope you have a great weekend. Know that you are appreciated. I have changed my format from my shorts due to time constraints, and I'm not as quick in the morning to be able to put out shorts for you. That lets you know you're appreciated, and you can use your courage and confidence and your calmness to get through the day, the week, the years ahead. But know that you are indeed appreciated by me. Perhaps I'll get back to that in the afternoons here in Pacific time. May you have a great week ahead. May there be bounty and blessings for you. May your world be a steady place for you. Know that you are safe and let yourself be calm and easy. Take care of yourself. Farewell for now. Until next time.